Vancouver is only 5-7 on the year, and we're coming off 2 straight simmed losses against the Clippers and Nets. Our last loss was by 42 points, and we're picking up right where things left off as we face the Wizards here at home. As Tyrese Halliburton knocks down the 3, then another one, top of the key, got it to go to tie it at 8. Anderson slips inside for 2. Trying to keep Vancouver ahead. Halliburton misses this one, but Payne's there on the glass, and I will clue you guys in. He had a monster game. AJ Griffin swatted off the backboard by Don Payne. Halliburton lost it. Stolen by AJ Griffin. He goes up to Nicholas Poole for 3, and he knocks it down on the other end. And that puts the Wizards out in front. This lob is snatched out of thin air by Don Payne. Then Poole blocked by Payne. Nice help defense trying to help out Tyrese Halliburton. Anderson steps back. That shot's good. Got to get him some more mid-range looks. He's pretty solid at those. Then nice hesitation. Nice pass to Zubac, and he slams that one in. Then Keldon Johnson, wide open 3, offline. Later on, Wesley threw some really tough contact from Zubac. Very impressive layup at the rack for him. And the first quarter ends with Vancouver down by 3. 26-23 to a 5-5 Wizards team. We go to the seconds. Mid-range jumper goes for Payne. Then Halliburton in the paint, knocks it down. Tough one over Simpson. Then Halliburton fires, blocked. Payne gets to it though and fades away and gets 2 more. Graves handing off to Payne in for a nice layup. Great give and go right there. Wesley lobs it right to Don Payne. Mistimed it. We go up ahead to Graves. He finds Vanderbilt, who is fouled on the layup attempt by Bernie Cage. So free throws for Vanderbilt. He's pretty good at these. So pretty much where his offense comes from is the free throw line. And his free throw shots are up and good. Nice job to hit both. Halliburton. Nice pick and roll with Payne. 2 more for him here in the first half. Then Jalen Brunson, top of the key, wide open, online. That'll cut the game to 2. Paolo fades and hits this one off the backboard and in. That puts the game to a tie. Anderson puts us back in front, though, with that corner 3. I tried to add some more playbooks to our playbook. I'll go over that later on in the episode. But I went through a lot of 3-point plays and added some corner 3s for him as Vanderbilt jumps the play and gets in there for 2 more. Nice way to turn defense into offense. Anderson through some traffic, yes. Cage attacks, shoots, and is blocked by Don Payne. Monster first half. DeSumo finds Anderson wide open there in the corner. 3 more for him. Vancouver up by 7 as Anderson gets the foul in the bucket against Jalen Brunson. That'll put him at the charity stripe. The free throw is up and good. Vancouver leads by 10 at halftime. Then Payne swats this one. Simpson missed it, got it back again, and now draws the 4th foul on Payne to start the 3rd quarter. Payne, lead pass to Keldon Johnson, missed it. Trying again after the offensive board, but can't do it. And look at this stat. He was 0 for 8 at this point. Has not hit a single shot. Halliburton contested 3 over Brunson. Got it. Vancouver trying to increase their lead here in the 3rd quarter as Brunson hits a tough one against the potential defensive player of the year. Then for 3, Brunson got it. Keldon Johnson back with it, taking it down low and missing that one. Cage gets the stop, and Keldon Johnson still has not hit a bucket as Wesley has a shot blocked by Payne, but the Wizards hang on to it. Anderson, open 3 online. Vancouver back up by 5. Then another 3. On it again from downtown. That puts us up by 2, but now it's tied at 69. Payne bullying Ben Caro down low. In for 2. Close game. Carney, really nice take. Slipping by the Hachimura defense. And we head to the 4th quarter with Vancouver ahead by only 1, 75-74. DeSumo starts the 4th quarter with a tray. Love seeing that. Hachimura trying to answer back. Can't do it. Markkanen pulls down the board. Up to Tyrese Halliburton. Waiting for teammates. He sees Graves. The lob up to him. Great pass right there. One of the easiest looks for Graves. Probably the most high percentage look for him as Payne swats Simpson's shot. Another block for him. Now a great pass by A.J. Griffin to find Brunson for another 3. That'll cut the game to 2. Simpson at the rim over Vanderbilt. Got it. We're tied at 86. But the offense was not humming here in the fourth quarter, and the defense wasn't either, as Payne is now called for his 5th foul. I don't agree with that one, but we're called for it either way. Brunson hits the first free throw, and the Wizards are now in front with under 6 to go here in regulation. We led for most of the game, especially after that run there in the second quarter, and now we're losing. Simpson stripped, though, by Keldon Johnson. Great job. He just saved a bucket. That could help out. Tyrese spins, fires, missed it. Payne comes out of nowhere to get the board and the putback. Then Paolo swatted by Payne right in the hands of Simon Anderson. He'll fire off the screen, offline. Payne skies for the board, goes up and is fouled. Trying to go between 3 defenders. He is just owning the glass right now. Washington has no answer for him as this free throw gives him 20 and 20 on the night. His second free throw. Up and good. Nearly just a perfect day for Don Payne as Vanderbilt gets a strip on Banchero to turn the ball over. Halliburton spins, fires again. Just 2 not very smart shots in a row by him. On the other end, Paolo backing down Halliburton on the mismatch. Easy bucket for 2 to increase the lead. Payne goes up. He's blocked by Simpson, and Poole gets to it. Now down by 4. Paolo over. Vanderbilt just missed it. We get the stop, thankfully. The lob up to Payne for the tip in is good. That'll cut it back down to 2. Banchero just somehow gets by Vanderbilt. I have no idea what happened there, but somehow he got by him. Keldon Johnson still has not hit a single shot. Missed it, but Payne is there on the glass for 2 more. Keeping us in this game, doing his best on both ends of the court. But Banchero, another 2 over Vanderbilt, and that pushes the game back to 4. They have just shot a lot better than we have here in this second half. Keldon Johnson left it short. Still has not hit a single shot. We have to foul, and the game is over. We lose 102-94 on our home court. After a really strong first half, we turn around and put together a disappointing second, and we lose by 8. What an embarrassing second half. That was awful. Anderson drops 25 on 23 shots. Definitely could have shot better. Payne was far and away the best player on the court with 25, 21, and 7 blocks. Tyrese Halliburton, 23 points on 21 shots. If him and Anderson shoot better, then we win this game. But the blame really has to be on Keldon Johnson. You cannot go 0 for 12 from the field and 0 for 8 from 3 as our 3rd best player, supposedly. Nobody else had more than 7 points. This bench is awful. It is terrible. Alright, based off that game, I need to make an adjustment, and it's going to be putting in, well, first of all, swapping Carney and Graves' minutes, and then putting in Herter at shooting guard instead of Graves, and Graves we're going to send down to the G League in 1 moment. I'm also going to change our offensive rebounding to crash offensive glass because we have been bad on the boards this year. Now we're going to send Graves down to the G League and see how he does down there. By the way, I did go through our playbook again, and I added some more corner 3-pointers. I added some other stuff as well, but mostly 3s. Alright, so now I think we're going to sim a couple of weeks and get to this game on the 8th of December to face Milwaukee at home. So we're going to sim, looks like 8 games. And it looks like Vanderbilt got hurt again with a bruised left hip, out 2 to 4 weeks, but he can still play through it. I think we got to keep him in there. Like, who else do you put at power forward that you can really trust out there? So I think we just leave him in there. Now, Anderson has a hyper extended left knee day to day. We're going to keep him in too. And now he's fully healed. So we sim 8 games, and we went 3-5 in those games. Chemistry is going up to 86%, but we're still not really putting things together. We're still 5 games below 500. You're seeing plenty of L's on the schedule here. We got to figure this out because the offense is only averaging 103.7 points per game. We're only shooting 44% as a team, 24 assists per game, and 3-7 in our last 10. We have won 2 games in a row, but in all but one of our last 10 games have been within 9 or less points. You look at these box scores and these just regular scores, several of these games came down to 2 possessions, and we lost a couple of them. The first game was a loss against Milwaukee, where Gerard Bass drops 21. Giannis only had 18. Donovan Mitchell only had 12. And we still somehow lost. Tyrese Halliburton had 36, 7, and 8. A massive day for him, probably his best game of the season. Don Payne, 21 and 13 with 3 blocks and 2 steals. But Anderson, only 3 for 13, 7 points. Keldon Johnson, 3 for 10. It looks like Markkanen was 0 for 7. Jesus. Then we lost against the Spurs. Calvin Gordon with 25, 9 and 6, and 5 steals. Poku had 22. Shea had 20 and 9. The Woodsmen got 28 for Anderson. Keldon Johnson had 20. Tyrese 14, 13. And Payne a double-double. But the bench once again shot poorly. Kevin Huerter only 1 for 3. And then we lost again to the Wizards, once again just blowing it in the fourth quarter, only scoring 14 points, allowing them to come back and win. Paolo Banchero, 26, 10, and 7. AJ Griffin, 21. Terrell Simpson had a double-double. The Woodsmen got only 18 for Anderson, 17 for Keldon Johnson, a double-double from Payne with 5 blocks. And Halliburton was 2 for 14. We're just not getting consistent play from any of our top players besides Don Payne. He's been the most consistent player on the team. We take down the Warriors by 1 thanks to a phenomenal fourth quarter comeback. Wallace Nance had 29, Kuminga 25, Green 23 and 10. But the Woodsmen got 32 and 13 for Halliburton, 27 for Anderson, and double-doubles from Payne and Keldon Johnson. Kevin Huerter only took 1 shot. Carney was 3 for 9. The Spurs took us down again by 2. At home, 34 for Anderson with 5 boards and 7 assists. Keldon Johnson, 19 points. Tyrese Halliburton, just 4 for 14 with a double-double. Payne had another double-double as well. Huerter only took 2 shots. Carney 1 for 4. Dosunmu 2 for 7. The Spurs got 29 and 6 for Shea and 27 and 14 for Calvin Gordon. Then we allow the Kings to outscore us by 15 points in the fourth quarter to come back and win by 4. D'Lo dropped 17, Suggs 15, Murray 14. They spread the ball around pretty well. Nobody shot well for them. Nobody shot well for us either, really, besides Dosunmu, who was 5 for 8, but everybody else kind of stunk. Top scorer was Keldon Johnson and Carney, both had 17 points. We're just not getting consistent play from this team. There's not much else to say about it. Then Vancouver rides a great second half to beat the Bulls by 25. Franz Wagner, 19 points for Chicago. The Woodsmen got 46 from Anderson. 17 for 30 from the field. 9 for 17 from the field. Or 9 for 17 from 3. Keldon Johnson, 17. Don Payne, 16 and 18. Halliburton, only 9 points, but 18 assists. And 2 for 8 from the field. He has not shot very well these last couple of weeks. And now we're coming off a 2-point win against the Sound, thanks to 28 behind Anderson, 15 and 13 for Halliburton, but once again, shooting terribly. 6 for 24. I don't want to lower his touches because he's getting a lot of assists, but he's shooting a lot and he's not hitting those shots, at least these last couple of weeks. Payne had 12 and 21. Dosunmu had 12. Bench did not provide a whole lot. And of course, the Sound are glitched again. The entire starting 5 played the whole game. Alex Barker had 41. I'll go and fix this right now. How did the Time Lord play the whole game and not take a single shot? Alright, so the Sound head coach is Terrence Gordon. And I can't fix the rotation automatically without firing him. So we're just going to have to fire him. Sometimes these coaches suck. So we're going to fire him and just let them hire somebody else and see if that'll work. And it looks like, according to the Bucks lineup, Giannis is going to be sitting today's game. Interesting. They still have Donovan Mitchell, though. All right, so real quick stat update for you guys. Anderson is up to 47% from the field, so he's definitely picking things up. Halliburton, though, has increased his points per game, but he's shooting only like 41% now, which was lower than it was last time we checked, I believe. So he's been shooting poorly these last like 2-3 weeks. Maybe got to find some different plays for him or something, but he's definitely not putting things together. Payne is having a phenomenal season. 14-14, and then 2.5 blocks, shooting 52%. Like, he's playing amazing. Keldon Johnson has completely just shat the bed the last couple of weeks. Has gone down all the way to 42%. Carney is shooting 41%, which is better than last year, but still not enough. Marketing is shooting awfully, so got to get him probably just out of the lineup. Herter only 39% since coming in. Clark was bad when he played, so there's a lot of issues going on here, guys. All right, so I don't know what happened to Marvin Bagley, but he has not played in a couple of seasons according to this. Last year was 24-25 season, and he shot 47%. He's now 29, and I'm going to see if we can bring him in and probably just cut Lauri Markkanen. And I think this could be a move that helps us out. Why does he decline the offer? How does that make any sense? He's got no other offers. Like, come on, man. Take the deal. Trying to brute force is just not going through. That makes no sense, man. Like, how am I supposed to sign guys on vet contracts if they want like like 1 mil above the minimum and they're just gonna hold there? Like, it's a green offer. He's got no other deals. How is he not gonna take the deal? I don't know. All right, we're gonna go back to a balanced approach. Not liking the triangle for a couple of different reasons. And instead of watching today against the Bucks, we'll try and watch a game against them later on in the year. We have a matchup against them, which looks like we don't. So we'll have to push that back. But I want to get some more simming done. And I think I want to watch a road game instead. And I kind of want to see how we match up against the Spurs, because they have a really good team. I think it's a pretty good litmus test, and I don't want to watch the Bucks if they're not going to have Giannis. So we'll sim 3 more games. They're all home games, and we'll see how we do going back to balance for just 3 games and just see if anything changes there. And Bagley signs with the Hornets, probably on a minimum deal. Right after I give him the offer, he signs with somebody else. I don't understand. It's not worth checking. Halliburton, lower back, Bruce, cool. Leave him in there. We need wins. And we go 2-1 in those 3 games. Let's check the box scores. Another 3-game stretch where we are unable to win or lose by more than 9 points. So first, we beat the Bucks by just 1. Keldon Johnson at 26-9, Anderson at 18, Halliburton 13-11, still shooting poorly. Payne shot horribly in this game as well. Malik Monk had 20 for the Bucks, and Mitchell was held to only 7. Then we lost by 6 to Golden State, despite Anderson dropping 27. Keldon Johnson shot poorly. Payne had a double-double. Halliburton shot poorly again. We got to get those 2 guys going, man, because what the hell? Jalen Green had 46. Nice. Tommy Shepard at 23, 6 and 9. He's having a great year over there in Golden State. But then we took down a pretty solid Denver Nuggets team. Halliburton and Anderson both dropped 20 and 7. Keldon Johnson had 17 points. Carney had 15 off the bench. Payne not shooting very well in this game either, but still had a double-double. And we do get the win. Herter took no shots. Interesting. So heading into this game against the Spurs, team chemistry is now up to 100%. We have won 4 games in our last 5, which is a really positive sign, but we have to keep it going. So after we watch this game, I think I want to sim a little bit more, probably to the end of this four-day rest stretch right here. I think I'll get to the end of this right before the 31st of December, because then we can think about, you know, any possible trades to make if we want to think about that, and also to see more results simming-wise to think about between now and next episode. So Halliburton and Vanderbilt both are still coming off of their injuries, but I think you have to play them. They're both a couple days away from coming back fully healthy, but we are 10-14. I think you have to play them. You at least have to play Vanderbilt, and if you don't play Halliburton, I mean, we're going to lose a lot of passing, a lot of offense. So I think a couple of things have kind of gone wrong for us this year. It's been rebounding, it's been passing, and I think those two have been a big reason why we have not scored as much as we would have liked to. And Halliburton also has just shot poorly this year. He's now below 40% on the season. So maybe I gotta lower his touches. Maybe I have to lower his plays in the playbook real quick. I think that might be the move, because he's just not getting it done shooting wise, and I think we need to look for maybe a different kind of passing role for him, perhaps. I mean, he is PNR ball handler, PNR point, isolation, handoff receiver. Maybe you take him off isolation and you instead go to, I guess, cutter maybe. That might be better for him to get him better looks, but I'm just not a fan of the shooting that he has displayed. There's been a couple of good, you know, stretches where he's hit some threes, but aside from that, he has not been anywhere near what he's been doing in previous seasons. So maybe it's the system that we're running. It's hard to digest what's going on with this team right now. I got to be honest with you guys, but I think it starts with rebounding and passing. He's the only guy that has above like 3.2 assists per game, and he's at 10.2. But if you look at his shooting splits this year compared to last year, everything is worse. Shooting is down from 47%. 3-point shooting down over 12%. Like, this is bad. And I think it's, you know, partly my fault for the things I've done, the changes I've made to the team. And if you guys have any ideas in the comments down below, please share, because you know, I have some ideas, but I don't want to just throw my ideas out there and just see if they work, because eventually, if we go through too many ideas in one season, we're going to run out of time. So we have to really, you know, analyze what's going wrong and why. So I think first we're going to start that by watching this game against the Spurs. So here we go in San Antonio at the AT&T Center, taking on Calvin Gordon, SGA, and the San Antonio Spurs. Again, we have two injured starters, but they're still going to play, so they should be all right to still be more like themselves this game. But I also kind of realized that changing too many things might affect the team chemistry, so we can't make too many in one year. We gotta really think about the best ones to make and stick with those as the Spurs get us started here with the scoring. Screen from Payne. Halliburton takes the screen and fires a three and knocks it down to put us on the board. Jay gets to the rack easily. Offensive 3-second violation against Anderson, trying to work around a couple of screens on a play call, and the Spurs take over. Another couple of screens from Gordon and Christopher as SGA is fouled on this next drive attempt. That'll go against Anderson. First free throw up and good. 22.2 points per game this year so far for SGA, and he's shooting lights out from the charity stripe as he will hit both right here. It's going to be tough to beat a duo like Calvin Gordon and SGA when our duo doesn't have anybody pretty much near their ratings. As Anderson bricks that mid-range jumper. Definitely want to see more shooting from Keldon Johnson, from Halliburton, and hope that Anderson, you know, keeps what he's been doing up, because he's really been good these last couple of weeks. Beat Payne on the low block. Backs him down, goes up and scores easily, a way to use that mismatch against Trey Murphy. Payne has been phenomenal this year, by the way. I can't say enough about him. He's been awesome. Calvin Gordon, though, has been averaging like 29 and 14, which is just absurd. Jay back to Calvin Gordon, but he can't knock down the three, and Vanderbilt pulls down the miss. The boards have gone up since Vanderbilt came back, so we are trending in the right direction there. And as we hopefully start to miss less shots and get our field goal percentage up, that should also increase too. As Calvin Gordon gets a steal off of Halliburton, it was a bad pass. Up to Trey Murphy. He finds Josh Christopher at the rim. He tries to fire over like 3 or 4 defenders. Missed it. They got the board, but Wheeler couldn't put it back in. Lucky break for Vancouver. On the other end, Anderson takes it down low. Go up, man. He missed it. You got to hit that. That guy's like 5 inches shorter than you are. Gordon is the leader in rebounds per game as Vanderbilt blocks the layup attempt from Shea. Halliburton to Anderson. Thought twice about it, and then he throws it right to Trey Murphy. What is that? The lob up to Christopher, went through his hands, and then Murphy gets back to it and draws the foul. That's incredible. First free throw up and good. Second free throw is up and good too. I've been thinking a lot about the moves that I made during the offseason, especially the one that we made to get Vanderbilt. And I think including Hollins in that trade instead of maybe DeSumo could have been a mistake, because Hollins provides a whole lot of passing as Halliburton knocks down a 3 again to tie it up. But Hollins provided as much passing as Halliburton does, and he would have been a really good bench point guard instead of DeSumo. So, you know, I'm definitely thinking twice about that. But, you know, you have to live with it, so. Halliburton, top of the key for 3. There you go. 3 for 3 from downtown. Back over to Shea. Now to Wheeler. Now Josh Christopher for a deep shot. Way offline. Halliburton to Keldon Johnson. He attacks and gets fouled by Wheeler. The free throw's coming up. Steve Nash is the head coach over here in San Antonio now. First free throw up and good for Keldon Johnson. And he goes 2 for 2. Jay gets to the rim again. We're having issues here because we are having Payne stay attached to Calvin Gordon because he's a good three-point shooter. And I don't want him to be open off the ball or just open at the three-point line. So with Payne staying attached, that will take a bit away from our paint defense, unfortunately. So we'll have to keep tabs on that as Halliburton will brick his first 3 after knocking down his first 3 attempts. Now we got a mismatch down low somehow. Keldon Johnson against Calvin Gordon, but he missed the shot. Keldon Johnson hands off to Anderson, back to Halliburton. He has to force the shot, and it's offline here too. Batista goes to Durakis, but he thought twice about it. Now he goes back to Batista for 3, offline. Payne gets the miss. Payne goes back to Keldon Johnson. He sees a lane to attack Poku. He can't finish through contact, though. On the other end, Batista for 3 again. This time he'll knock it down to put the Spurs ahead by 2. We jump ahead with 7:44 to go here until halftime. Spurs have the ball down by 4, 38-34. Shea pulls up and hits the shot to close the gap in half. Barney off the screen. Back out to Herter. Good pass. How do you not hang on to that, man? This game stinks. It happens to every one of those kinds of passes. Murphy, the triple, offline. Vanderbilt pulls it down. So we currently have Vanderbilt, Payne, Carney, Halliburton, and Herter out there. Halliburton for 3, offline this time as well, so the last 3 we've seen have not gone in for him. That's all right, though, still around 50%. Double screens for Shea. He hesitates, trying to go back to Gordon, but we had 3 guys right between them. That was a really bad idea. Screens for Halliburton. He gets down low, fires, and missed it over Wheeler. Again, just not a smart shot. You're taking a shot over a guy who's 6'9", that has a hand in your face. A tough one to hit. Murphy wants to attack the paint. Now he goes back to Josh Christopher in the corner, and he puts the Spurs ahead by 1. Barney finds Vanderbilt at the rim, but he missed it because Wheeler was there. You can't rely on Vanderbilt for much offense. Murphy at the rim is fouled by Herter. Payne had the block, but Herter fouled him instead. Free throw, up and good. Second free throw, good as well. You jump in and things immediately turn south. That's crazy. Halliburton takes the screen, gets down low, and hits this time. That's a much better shot, but even then, that's got to be a layup. You don't got to pull up there. He's got 14 points, though. Christopher steps back. Nice move to free himself up, and Wheeler could not tip it in. The lob up to Anderson is there from Tyrese Halliburton. The Spurs call timeout, and we're back in front. Wheeler comes over to set the screen. Christopher fires, but it's offline. Markkanen pulls down the board. But I think I want to get rid of him. I think that he is a huge reason why the bench has been just bad this year. We have, I believe, behind the sound because of that glitch with their starters all playing. Well, nice pass to Anderson right there. Corner 3 online. Great pass right there, but I just cut myself off. Our bench is last. If you don't count the sound because of that 5 starter glitch that they had going on for most of the season to this point, you take them away, we have the worst bench in the league, which makes sense from what we have seen so far. So you think about trades, because obviously I can't sign anybody because we saw how the Marvin Bagley thing went. That was cool. Got to think about a trade instead. Halliburton contested, but it's good. And just like that, Vancouver back up by 7. 17 points here in the first half for Halliburton. Just what I want to see. And he's shooting over 50% too. Christopher gets to the rack. I got to see if I can switch this or fix this. So for on-ball screens, I wish that I could have us just switch guards. But I think instead, we're going to go over on those. Same for the on-ball screen with a center. We got to stop them from turning the corner, so let's do a soft hedge there too. But then back to the matchup against Calvin Gordon. For him, we're going to keep him as staying attached because we just have to. That change is made as Halliburton races around a couple of people and scores again. That was quick. I want to see more of that quickness. We need that. We need speed. We need guys who can dribble, guys who can get around their man-to-man defenders. As Christopher takes it down low and is fouled. Had 3 guys on him again. We have not defended very well. At least in terms of like the down low stuff. We've been fouling a lot in the paint. As Christopher hits both free throws. Dosunmu checks in and Zubac does too. Anderson gets the feed from Dosunmu. Launches a 3 and it's online. Just pure silk. Batista, great pump fake. He passes to Gordon, who hits the push shot. That was a great pump fake. He got Dosunmu up in there like it was nothing. That was crazy. But 6-point game. Vancouver has it, leading 53-47 as Dosunmu puts up a poor shot. Garakis for 3, offline. It was actually him who made that move on the previous play, so nice pump fake on that. One from a few minutes ago. Anderson attacking Christopher. You have to do better than that. There's the way Josh Christopher is stopping you in your tracks like that. Anderson, come on. Use that strength. Look at you, man. You're 6'6" and you're built. Use that. Nice steal by Lauri Markkanen as now we get to Anderson down low. Nice pass. But kind of a similar first half as to what we saw in the highlighted game against Washington. Christopher got the bucket and the foul. The paint defense has been poor because, again, we're not keeping Payne down there for the most part because we got to guard Calvin Gordon. Free throw is up and good. That cuts the gap to 5. Markkanen feeds Keldon Johnson. He's against Christopher. Can he back him down? No, he gets bodied up and he can't get by him. How is that possible? Is this guy like a robot? Screen from Zubats. Anderson has to fire a contested 3, and it hits back iron. Screens for Durakis. He goes back out to Batista, but it's covered well. Spurs have to reset. Gordon over Zubats. Knocks it down. Sumu has it. He goes to Anderson for the mid-range jumper, but a bit too much under it. Durakis blows by Zubats, in for 2 on the other end. And just like that, our lead is cut to 1. We do have the last shot of the first half, though, so we should, in theory, have a lead at halftime. Sumu not trying to pass the ball until he goes to Markkanen for 3, and it's off. And the first half ends with Vancouver ahead 55-54. But a solid first half has us in front. Defense could have gotten better, especially towards the end there, but we have a lead. We jump in with about half of the third quarter left. We're going to watch this until we get to the fourth quarter. And we are now down by 1, 74-75, so it's been a very close, contested third quarter. Both teams have scored around 20 points already. As Shea gets down low, fires, and somehow lays it in. How is Vanderbilt not there? Like, I swear he was there. But they have shot 60% so far in the quarter. We only shot like 41% in the first half, as that one goes out of bounds off of Halliburton. The Spurs take over. Durakis, speedy out there. Got the switch. Markkanen. Come on. He just sagged off right when he got shook off. He just like walked away from him. And Dosunmu was in a bad spot too. 5-point game. Dosunmu fires a 3, and it's offline. It's just not a good look. Screens for Durakis. Left open for 3. Offline. Payne skies for it. Dosunmu on the other end will drive and lay it in through contact. There you go. Poku takes the screen and fires a 3. That one's offline, but Gordon comes out of nowhere to get the board. Sanders has it. He has to shoot. And he just missed the 3. Luckily for us. Sumu finds Markkanen wide open there in the corner. And he missed the look, man. Who else do you put in? Because Brandon Clark's not going to give you any offense. So he'll give you some better defense, baby. But he's going to shoot about the same as Gordon is stuffed out of bounds by Don Payne. Zubats checks in for us. As the Spurs try to inbound it, now they have it. Durakis launches, and that one's offline, and Zubats is there for it. Let's get back out in front here. Nice pass to Anderson there in the corner. He gets down low with a nice move, and he's fouled by Poku. Apologizes for the hard foul. Anderson up to 28 points per game in his last 5 games. Definitely playing better in our last stretch. That's why we've won 4 of our last 5 because of him for the most part. And Payne as well, as the free throws drop for him. 1-point game. Poku takes the screen and gets to the rim. Zubats was not interested in guarding him, but it's because it's Calvin Gordon. Like, what else are we supposed to do? We have Herder guarding Poku for God knows what reason. It's because they have 3 bigs out there. That's why. Sumu. Not a good look, but he hits the shot, so we'll take it. Both teams have shot 46%. They've just taken 2 more than we have, and they hit it. Or they hit one of them, so that's why they're in front. Durakis. Fouled by Anderson. He has free throws. First one, good. Second one, up and good too. Mid-ranger for Anderson is up and good. The assist goes to Ayo Dosunmu. Inbound pass deflected and stolen by Joel Carney as he checks in off the bench for, I believe, the first time here in the third quarter. A great job to get the steal right there. We are seeing all 5 backups out there right now, and the ball is not really moving all too well. Herter steps back and missed the shot. Would have loved to have some better shooting from him so far, but the stints that he has given us have not been the best. So another spot to look at in a potential trade or something. Durakis in the corner for 3, offline. And I'm also kind of like, we made a lot of trades in this series. I don't know if I want to keep making them because like half of them have worked and half of them haven't. Maybe even less than half. Sumu for 3. It rolls around the rim and in off the backboard. Vancouver up by 2. Under 2 to play here in the third. Durakis takes the screen. Has an open 3. But he can't respond. And Carney comes over for the board. Gordon was in contention for it. Carney double clutches. Can't finish through traffic, but Zubats is there to stuff it back in. Nice offensive rebound. I also want to see more from Carney. I want to see more points per game. I want to see better shooting. But, I mean, he's also playing only 12 minutes per game right now because he has not been playing too well. So, it's hard to expect more from him when he's not being given more minutes. But, you know, there's a give and take there. Markkanen at the rim. There we... Is that our first bucket that we've seen him score on this team? It might be. We've shot 62% here in the quarter. Good stuff. Poku. Couple of screens. Goes back out to Durakis. They love this play. And it works out this time. Markkanen sets the screen. Sumu. Wide open 3. Offline this time. Sanders feeds Gordon. His jumper is good. He does not miss. Last shot here in the third quarter to Sumu. Finds Carney for 3. Back iron. We go to the fourth, still up by 1. No headway made by either team really here in the third quarter. It's pretty much the same as it was. We somehow shot so much better than them in this third quarter, and yet it's still the same deficit. Man, that's too good. All right, we jump ahead 3 minutes, and we are now up by 4, 96-92, and we are also in the bonus already for the rest of the quarter. The Spurs have the ball trying to close the gap, though we're going to watch the rest of this game. Shea, pass deflected by Markkanen and stolen by Dosunmu. Sumu to Halliburton for 3, offline. Screens for Christopher. Halliburton can't get around him in time, and he has a wide open lane. I might be done with doing that. I think I might take off the stay attached now. I think it's pretty apparent that we got to make that change. So for Gordon, I'm just going to take off all the settings here except for the tight on-ball and off-ball pressure. Otherwise, we'll just go with automatic for all of this. Halliburton waiting for a screen. Markkanen sets it. Now back to him for a 3. It's off. We currently have Vanderbilt, Johnson, and Anderson all at the scorers table ready to check back in. Markkanen's 2 for 8 on the day. Yep, gotta find a different guy to put out there at power forward off the bench. Shea for 3. No. Sumu on the move. Can't hit. Payne is there to tip it back in, though. Nice work. Christopher takes the screen. Has a decent look, but he missed the mid-range jumper. Payne pulls it down. He's been pretty good on the glass today against Calvin Gordon. Love seeing that. Markkanen hands off to Halliburton. Time counting down. ISO. Halliburton just pulls up. And it's good. Thank you. He's got 38. He's 13 for 19. Let's go. Is he back? Shea attacks the rim, and Dosunmu fouled him. Thank God he did not make the layup. This will let the rest of our starters come in, which is hopefully a good thing. First free throw is up and in. And the second one is good too. A lot of guys are tired out there. Halliburton to Anderson against Josh Christopher once again, but he will pass out of it. Halliburton takes the screen. Spots up for three. That one's off. And Wheeler pulls it down. But then he throws it right to Don Payne. To Vanderbilt. He fires and draws the foul. You don't see him taking a shot like that very often, especially against a guy like Calvin Gordon, who's one of the best defenders down low in the league. First free throw is good. We got 10 steals, 4 blocks. Vanderbilt goes 2 for 2. Screen from Wheeler. Christopher for 3. No. Vanderbilt gets the board. Let's increase our lead here, fellas. Up by 6. I want it to be more. I want to give us a pretty good cushion here. We go to Keldon Johnson. He fires. It's blocked by Gordon right to the hands of Josh Christopher. We got Shea against Anderson now. Gordon. Pseudo screen now for 3. And he just missed it. That was close. Keldon Johnson with the ball against Shea. He spins, throws up a shot. Missed it, but Payne tips it in. Has Keldon Johnson scored today? I can't recall if he actually has. He seems like he's been kind of non-existent. Oh, he's got 13 points, 4 for 11. I don't think we've really seen many of his shots, but the ones that we have seen have definitely not gone in. Anderson, 16 points, 5 for 13 to this point. I mean, Halliburton is having a hell of a game, but he has not really passed the ball like he usually does. Only 4 assists, which is got to be like a season low at this point. But if he's scoring, so I can't complain. I like seeing 38 for somebody, especially if they're shooting as well as he is. Christopher has it. He goes to Shea. Gordon sets the screen. Shea fires a 3. Top of the key, no. Nice pass to Keldon Johnson. There's one of those assists right there. Over the top pass, tipped out of bounds by Payne. The Spurs keep it, but great job. They were trying to go for a quick bucket for Gordon, but he deflected that pass. Here's our upcoming schedule. A couple of teams hovering around 500. So we hope to do better once we sim after this episode, or not this episode, this game. I want to sim those games and see what happens there. They inbound to Trey Murphy. He goes to Wheeler. Screen from Gordon. SGA gets down low, and he's fouled by Payne, his first. That is a shocking stat that was his first foul. That is actually pretty incredible. Usually he gets like 1 or 2 in the first quarter. As Poku checks in place of Wheeler to round out the fourth quarter for the Spurs. Wheeler was starting, but I guess they want to go to Poku, who is the same overall rating as Wheeler is. Both guys have started a couple of games this year for them. Johnson feeds Payne. Backing down Calvin Gordon. I wonder how this is going to go. He spins. And he scores! Don Payne, man! How has he been this episode? 11 and 14. Calvin Gordon, who averages 29 points a game, only at 19 right now. Poku back in the corner to Shea. Wide open, but he missed it again. He has had a rough fourth quarter shooting-wise. He does have 23 points, but he has not shot the ball very well at all. Vanderbilt the screen. Halliburton has some space, but it hits back iron instead. Under 3 to go here in the fourth. Christopher finds SGA for, I believe, his first points, or his first bucket, rather, here in the fourth. Payne has a mismatch against Trey Murphy, but instead he'll find Anderson on the cut. Nice pass. Easy 2. Shea gets by. Halliburton in for 2 more for him. Trying to keep this game close. He's now got 27. Over to Keldon Johnson for 3. Online. Big shot. Huge bucket right there. Had a really nice time. He's now 4 for 7 from deep in this game. So he's actually played about how you expect from him. But good to see. Calvin Gordon backing down Payne. And he missed it. Look at that defense, man. Stifling. Halliburton gets down low. Spins. But just missed the layup. SGA stayed right there on him the entire time. It was a nice move, though. Good try. Now Shea's trying to beat him to the rack again, which he does. We call timeout up by 9. Keldon Johnson has it. Waiting for a play to develop. It's Anderson for 3. That's not going in. And Gordon pulls down the board. The Spurs are pretty much out of time, but as I said, they closed the gap to 7. So I guess not necessarily. They're not going to foul yet, though. A bucket here could put it away. Payne finds Anderson wide open at the rim. The Spurs won't foul. Halliburton will just run this clock out, and Vancouver gets a much-needed win against a very good San Antonio Spurs team. They're just a really good offensive team. I'm not really sure how we put up 115 on them because they are also a good defensive team, but a much better showing today than any of our previous games, at least offensively. This was a treat to enjoy, fun game, and now we have won 5 out of our last 6. And let's keep it going with some simming here in a moment because we can get back on track here and get back in the playoff race, I think. Shea drops 31, 4, and 6 in the loss. Calvin Gordon had 19 and 13 and was 9 for 20 from the field. Only 1 for 6 from 3. The Woodsmen got 38 points and 6 assists for Tyrese Halliburton. 13 for 22 from the field. 50% from downtown. Anderson had 20 points and 5 assists. Keldon Johnson had 16 points. Payne once again racks up a double-double as he has been doing all year long. But Herter, Markkanen, both shot poorly. Dosunmu has really, not been as good as I expected him to be, but he is playing better than last year, according to his stats. At least, shooting-wise from the field. From 3, not necessarily, but it's still, 42%. You really can't go wrong there. So, I think I'm comfortable with him for the most part. You definitely want to look to bring in another, maybe shooting guard or small forward, and a power forward off the bench as well. I think that could really help us. Carney, I already said about him my piece during the game, so that's all I got to say about that. But we had less boards than they did, but not by much. They only beat us by 4, which honestly, I think you kind of take that against a team like this. So that's not bad at all. We had more assists than them, and they, I believe, are top 5 in assists per game with like 32 or some kind of crazy number like that. We're around like 24 right now. So we're still sticking to that, but we had less turnovers in this game, which honestly is probably why we came out on top by only a couple of buckets. So good work there, especially there in the 4th quarter. And yeah, these last 2 weeks have definitely been better for us. But I think I do want to sim us through this 4-game, or not 4-game, this 4-day stretch that we have off so that we can get our guys some rest, so we can get through some more games, simming just to get more knowledge on this season and on this team. So let's sim to December 30th. And Vanderbilt is fully healed. Good to see. And now he has a lower back bruise like 2 seconds later, but we'll keep him in there. And Halliburton is fully healed now. And then Keldon Johnson sprains his wrist, so he's going to be day-to-day, but he cannot play until he is able to come back. So we have to adjust our rotation. Now I don't know who to put in, to be honest with you. You know what? This could be a good chance to maybe start Joel Carney at small forward and see what he can do, perhaps. I think that could be worthwhile for, 1 or 2 games until Keldon Johnson can come back. So we're going to exchange their minutes. And then we are going to bring in Chuma Okeke off the bench until Johnson comes back. Also, I'm not going to make a change right now, but once Keldon Johnson does come back, I'm going to give more minutes to Vanderbilt and more to Dosunmu and lower some for Markkanen, I think, because I just can't play him for 20 minutes, man. He's just not good enough. I'm also going to up minutes for Zubac as well. So he might come in for power forward a little bit after KJ comes back, but until then, we're going to rock with this. And a few games later, Keldon is back, so we can go and adjust our rotation. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold off on increasing Vanderbilt's minutes until he's fully healed. Then I will do that. I don't want to risk any further injury to him. So in place of just doing that, instead, I am going to shave off most of his minutes in the second half to give to Zubats. So Zubats is going to play a good amount more. Change this to that. And we'll do this. So Zubats will go up to about 19 minutes per game. And then we'll also give him one more minute right here. And so Markkanen's down to 15. We up Zubats to about 20. And we'll keep it here for the time being until Vanderbilt comes back. Then I'll give him more minutes. And then I'll give maybe a few to Carney, maybe. I'm not really sure how I want to do that. Maybe I give less to Herter and more to Carney, I think, is my thought process here. So I'll make that change. And we'll play Carney in the fourth quarter to start it. So he's up to 17. Herter down to about 8. I think this looks better for the time being. And 2 games later, Vanderbilt is back. And we are turning things around. Let's go! Maybe a trade is not necessary, folks, because the last month of the season, we have really turned on the Jets. 2 losses since December 3rd. Our first game after the Spurs game was a win against a really good Hornets team where we dropped 132 points. The Hornets got 24 from Alfonso Cortez and 21 from Ty Washington. But the Woodsmen got 34, 7 and 13 from Tyrese Halliburton. Oh my God, another great day from him. Anderson, 22 points. Keldon Johnson shot pretty well with 19 points. Carney had 15 off the bench. Herter did 2, his best game in a Woodsman uniform. And that's a really great win again. Then we blew out the Knicks by 31. Rivera drops 26 and 8, but the Woodsmen got 35 for Anderson, 20 and 13 from Payne. Keldon Johnson, 17 points on good shooting, and Halliburton had a solid day as well with 16 points and 11 assists. Zubats had 10 and 8 off the bench, and nobody shot poorly off the bench, so that's nice too. The first game of a 2-game series against Portland was a win by 4 at home. Halliburton drops 29, 5 and 10. Anderson at 24 and 8, Payne 17 and 10, with Markkanen and Carney both scoring in double figures off of the bench. Keldon Johnson only took 4 shots in this game. This was the game that he got hurt in, and he missed the rest of it, so he only had 5 points. And the Trailblazers got 27 from Bryce McGowens in 19 minutes only. Wow, what a great day. He took 1 shot per minute. Good for him. In Game 2 of the series, we take them down again thanks to a strong fourth quarter comeback, outscoring them by 14 points to win by 7. Jordan Poole drops 24, Bones Highland shoots only 5 for 20, scoring 23. The Woodsmen got 37 for Anderson, 20 from Carney in his only start of the season, although he shot 6 for 18. And he also fouled out at some point after 34 minutes of action. Halliburton played pretty well, 19 points, 11 assists, 5 steals, and he shot fairly decent. Okeke had 10 points. Payne only 7 and 5, but he must have gotten hurt during this game, but just for this game because he only played 18 minutes, so he definitely missed the rest of that one. Not sure why. The Rockets break our losing streak by taking us down by 3 on our home court. They put together a really solid second half. We just pretty much had a bad defensive third quarter and a bad offensive fourth quarter. Anderson drops 23, Halliburton 17 and 12, Payne 12 and 12, Keldon Johnson had 10 points. The Rockets had 18 for Jabari Smith and 17 for Ray Harris. Kyrie only 13 and 7 here in this one. We bounced back by taking down the Kings by 3 in Sacktown. Jalen Suggs 17 points, Tari Eason at 16. The Woodsmen, though, got 28 for Anderson and 23 from Keldon Johnson. Halliburton had a poor shooting day, 4 for 19. Payne, 13 points, 8 boards. Carney, 3 for 11. And now we're coming off another win against the Heat. Pretty much the same score as the last time we faced them. And they, by the way, are 6-28 on the year. They are terrible. So you expect to beat them. 21 points for Tyler Hero, 16 for Juzang, and 11 for Jukic. Bam was 2 for 16. My God. The Woodsmen, though, got 26 and 11 for Keldon Johnson. 22 from Tyrese Halliburton, along with 8 assists and 4 steals. 12 for Anderson and Carney, and a double-double for Payne, despite him not shooting very well, but a win nonetheless. I guess that's how I'll leave it off. I don't really have anything else to say, but definitely a good episode. We definitely made a lot of progress, got back above 500 after being down below it for pretty much the entire season, so things are looking bright for us, and just going to try and keep this up next episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, take care, and go Woodsmen.